JDM don't wrestle, but he was defending well, and he puts damage on.
Off rip.
Starts putting damage on.
I didn't see that fight with him and Islam. Does he have the ability? Does he have the ability to beat a guy like Islam?
He'll get takedown attempts coming at him very early. This time, the last fight, he didn't have to deal with that when he was start to pressure him early and take him down early, or even just make him wrestle. I struggle. I don't know that he's ever felt anything like he's gonna feel, because it's not gonna be double legs and single legs with Islam. It's gonna be him playing with his feet, tripping him, moving around. The problem is, like, I can only give you that because I can't truly make a prediction. The job doesn't allow it. I'm grappling with Islam once, and I try to throw him off of me, but he's still there. It's like, I give him a little harder shove, and he's still there. Next thing you know, I'm grappling at 100% because the dude's that strong.
UFC legend Daniel Cormier has issued a chilling warning to Jack Della Maddalena ahead of a possible welterweight title showdown with Islam Makhachev, but Jack isn't backing down. Fearless and fired up, he's already fired back with a bold statement, claiming Islam is simply too little for him and vowing to finish the former lightweight champ with ease. In a recent interview, Jack confidently declared that Islam wouldn't be able to handle his size and power, making it clear he's ready to chase this fight with full force, determined to dominate if they collide in the octagon.
Most likely against count number 1 in the world, the lightweight champion Islam Makhachev. Talk me through about that particular matchup and what you think and how excited you are to prove yourself yet again.
Yeah, the dream first title defense, count number 1. Get him back on the ball. Sure. I'm gonna get him. He's too little. I'm gonna get him.
However, Joe Rogan disagreed with Jack Della Maddalena's assessment, describing Islam Makhachev as an unusually big and powerful fighter for his division. Rogan admitted he's consistently amazed that Islam can even make the 155-pound weight limit, pointing out his thick frame, broad back, and overwhelming strength. He emphasized that Islam's grip and grappling leverage are so dominant they can feel absolutely suffocating to anyone.
I interview him in the cage afterwards. I'm always like, how?
Really?
How are you 155?
Yeah.
How?
I know.
How?
I know.
He's thick as... He's got a giant back.
Yeah.
And when he gets a hold of guys, it's like he's just got this leverage, this grappling squeeze that it's... I remember when he fought Drew Dober. And, like, when he got Dober down to the ground, I was like, that's a wrap.
On the other hand, UFC legend Daniel Cormier stated that while the organization features many high-profile matchups, none compared to a potential showdown between Ilia Topuria and Islam Makhachev. He pointed out that Ilia is seen as the favorite against nearly every opponent except Islam, which highlights the immense respect Islam commands. Cormier also emphasized that Ilia's dominant victory over Charles Oliveira has only elevated his reputation even further.
We know that there are some big fights in the UFC. I don't know that there's a bigger fight that the UFC can make that's going to be bigger than Topuria and Makhachev if they are to fight. Guys, Ilia Topuria is a massive favorite over everyone in the UFC except Islam Makhachev. And that in itself tells you what people think of Islam because of how highly regarded Ilia Topuria is right now, especially after becoming the UFC lightweight champion in the fashion that he did against Charles Oliveira.
Daniel Cormier highlighted that while Dana White promised Islam Makhachev a super fight if he captures the welterweight title, Ilia Topuria had previously assured the UFC he wouldn't move up after winning the lightweight belt. Cormier emphasized that all eyes are now on these two, Islam, the dominant lightweight champion, aiming for a second title at 170 pounds, and Ilia, who defeated 2 featherweight legends before stopping Charles Oliveira in the first round, making this potential to showdown even more monumental.
Right away, if Islam becomes welterweight champ, you have a super fight. But what becomes of the promise Ilia had to make to the UFC to not move up to welterweight if he became the lightweight champion? There are a lot of things moving right now in the UFC, and a lot of it is centered around those two guys, right? You have one guy who defended the belt 4 times, has 5 UFC lightweight title wins, most in history, going up to 170 to try to become a 2-division champion in Islam Makhachev. You have another guy in Ilia Topuria who beat the 2 greatest featherweights of all time, moves up to 155, beats one of the best lightweights we have seen of this era in Charles Oliveira in 1 round.
Daniel Cormier discussed Ilia Topuria's recent interview where Ilia revealed that after his last fight, the UFC asked him not to mention any plans about moving up to welterweight. He admitted he had considered the jump, but during their conversation, the UFC specifically requested that he promise not to announce a move to 170 pounds. Ilia jokingly said he agreed, but with his fingers crossed, hinting that the dream of moving up is still very much alive.
They said this guy could be the first 3-division champion
in UFC history. And I know it's early. I know you just moved up. But is that something that you've thought about?
I thought about it, but the last conversations about I had with the UFC, they personally asked me the favor, like, don't tell us after the fight that you want to move to the welterweight division. Made us a promise, and I was like, promise.
Were you crossing your fingers though? Because that
I was
that
like,
would,
I swear to. Promise.
For now.
Daniel Cormier emphasized that although contenders like Paddy Pimblett and Arman Tsarukyan are in the title mix, the UFC can't resist the allure of a true superfight. He explained that these blockbuster matchups attract massive global attention and generate significant revenue. Cormier believes a clash between Ilia Topuria and Islam Makhachev would captivate fans around the world, describing Ilia as one of the top fighters today and Islam as the undisputed pound-for-pound king for quite some time.
Arman Tsarukyan's still there. Now you hear the boss saying you have a super fight, and what we know about the UFC is when there is a super fight, it's hard to turn away from it because not only does it bring the bucks, it brings the eyes. And that's a fight that I think would bring a lot of eyes to the UFC and the product. And I believe it would be a very good fight between two of the best mixed martial arts on the planet right now. Ilia is one of the greatest on the planet. Islam has proven to be the pound-for-pound #1 fighter in the world. And that's been the case for a while.
Cormier further stated that if Islam Makhachev wins the welterweight title, it would significantly elevate his legacy and cement his status among the all-time greats. While he already considers Islam one of the best, becoming a two-division champion, that would make that greatness undeniable. Cormier also noted that Islam won't face Belal Muhammad due to their mutual respect and close friendship.
If he is able to do this, would further cement himself as one of the greatest fighters of all time. He really would. He would cement himself as one of the greatest of all time. I think he's already one of the greatest of all time. But by going up to 170, one of the things that he would not do was fight Belal Muhammad. And they were very clear about him and Belal Muhammad about not wanting to fight each other.
Earlier, Daniel Cormier shared that Islam Makhachev is already making waves at welterweight, noting how fighters like Joaquin Buckley have reacted criticizing Islam for supporting a close friend. Cormier explained that this kind of response, it shows Islam's move is already stirring tension and generating excitement, proving just how impactful his entry into the division could be.
Crazy that you were praying for your so-called brother's downfall. That was Joaquin Buckley. So not only does Islam have an opportunity to become a world champion, he's already got guys up at 170 taking notice.
Crazy that you were praying for your so-called brother's downfall. Those were the words of Joaquin Buckley, highlighting the tension already brewing around Islam Makhachev's potential move to welterweight. Not only does Islam have a real shot at becoming a two-division champion, but he's already making waves with top contenders at 170 taking notice. Belal Muhammad also weighed in on the possible matchup, predicting that Islam would take down Jack Della Maddalena and dominate the fight with his elite wrestling. He praised Islam's discipline in sticking to his game plan, something Belal admitted he struggled with in their own bout. Though he felt he won 3 rounds, Belal acknowledged the importance of making victories decisive and reflected on how easy it is to stray from strategy during intense striking exchanges, emphasizing that every fight brings valuable lessons.
Islam versus JDM goes down. JDM goes down.
I think Islam will probably take it down. Like, Islam's thrust is really good. Like, even with me, I like really commit to it. I took it down. Their team's so good at like hacking it, game plan and sticking to it.
You said that you kind of abandoned the game plan a little. You think if you got a rematch, you would change the game plan a bit?
No, I mean, honestly, I think I won 3 rounds, but you have to go out there and make it more clear. When you get into the cage and you're fighting, right, you get into that, like, all right, I feel like striking it. Let's keep going. I was doing well with it. Let's keep going. If your coach is trying to get you to focus on the game plan again, it's like, man, I'm doing well with it. You're thinking you're doing better than you are. Every fight, you gain something from it, right? This fight, I gained something from it.
Meanwhile, featherweight champion Alexander Volkanovski expressed his excitement over Jack Della Maddalena's growth, especially following Jack's impressive win over Belal Muhammad, a performance Volkanovski believes could serve as perfect preparation for a future clash with Islam Makhachev. He highlighted Jack's improved takedown defense and hinted that this more evolved version of Jack might present serious challenges, even for the most dominant wrestlers in the division.
Makhachev is going to be fighting Jack Della Maddalena. How do you think those two match up?
I think Jack's fight against Belal was a perfect fight for leading into that. Purely, you take a lot out of stop and takedowns. Because, again, every fighter's still going to have
little doubts that are going to creep in. You know, I'm sure Jack was going through that, being like, all right, like, you know, worried about, you know, what if he takes me down and all that. The fact that he was able to stop it and feel so comfortable, I guarantee you he's leveled up again. His confidence in his takedowns has just went up significantly leading into this fight. I think his confidence is going to be at a whole nother level. So through camp, like, I guarantee you, if he's back in training right now, people trying to take him down are going to find it almost impossible. You know, only the top guys are going to have a chance of taking him down, and they're going to have a very hard time.
Lightweight legend Dustin Poirier, who is preparing for his final international appearance at UFC 318, shared his thoughts on the high-stakes showdown, suggesting it has the potential to end quickly and dramatically. He described it as a dangerous chess match where one wrong move could result in an early finish, keeping fans on the edge of their seats as they wait to see whose strategy will break down first.
Jack Della Maddalena.
I think we'll find out first, second round how much trouble he has getting down. I think if he gets those takedowns, he's gonna get the win. If Jack can stop those takedowns, which he does have good takedown defense, I think the boxing and the size could wear on Islam and give him some problems. But Islam, his striking, you know, awkward and different. You have to worry so much about the takedown. You can't plant your feet and throw off those number combinations and really rip and sit on your punches because he's going to change levels. So it changes the way you fight. Well, for me, it did. I'm thinking from experience. So we'll see how Jack approaches and how Jack executes out there. But if you're worried about takedowns, you know, your shots are different. You're not sitting on everything and standing in front of the guy. You're trying to move and be light on your feet. I think the first 2 rounds will tell us how the fight goes.
Jorge Masvidal also shared his perspective favoring Islam Makhachev in a potential matchup against Jack Della Maddalena. While he praised Jack's striking and the impressive takedown defense he displayed against Belal Muhammad, Masvidal stressed that Islam's wrestling operates on a completely different level. He acknowledged that Jack might have an early edge on the feet, but predicted that Islam's relentless pressure and superior grappling would eventually take over as the fight wears on.
Big guy. He's sucking out a lot of weight to get to 55. I think he might start doing better at 70. Problem is, though, Jack is special. We're gonna see just how special he is if he beats Islam Jack, #1 pound. Wow, that's impressive. You know, I'm leaning towards Islam, brother. Oh, really? You know, but I really think it's gonna be a tough fight for him, but a great fight.
Jack was able to defend takedown attempts by Belal.
Belal has the best cardio in MMA, but Belal doesn't have Islam's technique. Not same technique. Not same. Very good, very aggressive. Belal never stops. A dog. Attack. But Islam is like smart, man. Boom. You know, Islam's level of wrestling is above. The standing game is improving. I don't think he could go stand up in the beginning with Jack. Jack has way better hands, way better range, faster, stronger. But as the rounds go on later and later, he could do it.
Charles Oliveira described Jack Della Maddalena as dangerous due to his patient approach and ability to methodically break down opponents, as he demonstrated against Belal Muhammad. He also believes Islam Makhachev will be a strong force at welterweight, with his grappling giving him a clear advantage. Oliveira feels the outcome of the fight will ultimately depend on whether Jack can keep the fight standing or if Islam succeeds in taking him to the ground.
Ele é jogo muito complicado, porque ele é cara que ele não vem pra te nocautear rápido, ele vem te magoando, né? Aos poucos. É o que ele fez agora no contra o Belal. Só que eu acho que o Isa vai se dar muito bem nessa categoria, né, mano? Agora ele tá muito mais forte, é jogo que tipo, ele gosta de agarrar e botar pra baixo. Eu acho que o Jack Maddalena fazer a mesma luta que ele fez, né? Agora contra o Belal, batendo, movimentando, saindo, machucando, é uma luta, mas se deixar o Isa agarrar e...
Al Spook, Demetrius Johnson, an MMA guru, all predicted a victory for Islam Makhachev, citing his relentless takedowns and perfectly timed knees as key factors that would allow him to control the pace of the fight. While they acknowledged that Ilia Topuria might be able to defend some of Islam's attacks, they believe Makhachev's constant pressure will eventually wear him down. All three foresee a potential finish coming from a powerful body shot that could ultimately bring the fight to an end.
Islam. I've got Makhachev. I got Makhachev as well. And I've got Makhachev second round TKO with a knee in.
Oh yeah, you going down rounds.
Yeah, I think he'll shoot a couple takedowns. Ilya will stuff it. Ilya will catch him a few times and people will go ooh and ah. And then when they clash again, I think Makhachev will go grab him. Ilya will think, oh, he's shooting again. Tight clinch bang, body, knee to the head. Ilya's all of a sudden stumble downhill from there. I think he beats Oliveira with a body shot.
American MMA fighter Philip Rowe also made a bold prediction for the potential showdown. Confidently picking Jack Della Maddalena to win, Rowe argued that Islam Makhachev might lack the size and strength to dominate at welterweight, while Jack's power could be a game-changer. With the matchup generating intense hype, Fans are eager to see whether Jack can achieve what many believe is impossible, stopping the seemingly unstoppable Islam.
Bro, what's cracking, man?
Chillin'.
Hey, now listen, you're welterweight. You've been in the game a long time. Islam moving up to 170. Is he big enough for 170?
My personal opinion, I don't think he is, but he's a champ. We'll see when he's there. You know what I'm saying? He has a fight. He's fighting the champ. That's the best 170 in the world right now, right? So we'll see.
So you don't think he has the size, but how do you think he does in the fight versus JDM?
I personally think JDM beats him. I think JDM will be able to get up if he does take him down. I don't think he'll be able to take JDM's shot. I think personally he'll stop.
Javier Mendez also weighed in on a potential fight between Islam Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena, saying it's difficult to determine if Jack would be Islam's toughest challenge yet. He emphasized that Islam genuinely wants this fight and is fully prepared for it. Mendez praised Islam's exceptional skills and relentless work ethic, stating that he operates on a different level than anyone Jack has faced so far. He also believes welterweight suits Islam well and expects him to become a dominant force in the division.
It's hard to say who's a harder challenge. I just know Islam wants this one. So for me, that's the challenge I want. And it's the challenge that I know Islam's going to be, supreme over, because I just know his skill set. I know what he brings to the table, and he brings an incredible work ethic, along skill set in every area. So, Islam's a whole different animal than the Jack's ever been involved with. So if that fight does materialize, we're going to see a hell of a fight, and you can see Islam perform at an absolute incredible level. And also, the weight is not super big for him either. So he's going to be a fairly decent welterweight. So Islam won't be a small guy. He'll be a decent welterweight if that fight.
Welterweight fighter Stephen Thompson stated that Islam Makhachev will face new challenges at welterweight due to the division's size and strength, noting that many fighters in the weight class cut down from over 205 pounds, something that could pose problems for Islam. While he praised Islam's elite grappling, Thompson pointed out that Jack Della Maddalena has already handled powerful wrestlers like Belal Muhammad. He believes the fight would be a tough test for Islam but hopes it happens, as it promises to be a thrilling matchup.